My name's Riaz. I was from Riches in Leicester, but now I live somewhere else.
My name's Abraham and I'm from Belgrave, Leicester.
My name's Hafsa Iqbal.
And where are you from?
I'm originally from Burton, which is a very small town, but I've just recently moved to Birmingham.
Benjamin White, and I'm native from Leicester, Bermondsey.
My name's Yunus and I'm from Highfields, Leicester.
Growing up in Leicester, it was tough. I mean, I was born in Highfields. I lived in Highfields for a few years and I moved to Wixton and I went to Rush Media. It was tough because there was a lot, like I say, there was a lot of racism about. And the education system then was very tough as well. I mean, the teachers, if they thought you was dumb or stupid, they wouldn't pay attention to you. They'd leave you alone. They'd just let you carry on. So I wasn't given that push to excel in education. It was tough, but then 1980s came about and things changed. It was great.
What changed?
Football.
It was fine actually. always had a good experience living in Burton. It's a very small town. Not too many strong opinions.
I've not found many problems with it at all. The multicultural part is the best thing I like about it. You can travel the world in a little city.
Leicester's a nice place, as long as it's a nice place if you're in Highfields, but if you come out your comfort zone, and then it's very different.
Growing up in Leicester, it was what can I say? It wasn't hard. I didn't have bombs dropping on my head, so yeah, I think it was it was alright. It was good. It was pretty straightforward, you know. A little bit of a little bit on the dull, but that's how it goes.
How long's a piece of string? I've experienced loads of racism when I was growing up because it was the times of National Front and skinheads and mods and rockers, and when Asians were perceived as, money grabbers, opening up corner shops, blacks were perceived as robbers and pimps and whatever. So yeah, I went through loads of racism, but we came out of it. Now I see a lot of Islamophobia on the media, I see a lot of Islamophobia on the net, on Facebook, on social media, and it affects me. I see it all the time.
I've witnessed it, but it's not been directed towards me.
I faced racism from a young age. I went to a behaviour school where there was no Asian or black people, or 400 people.
I mean, when I was growing up, no, I didn't face Islamophobia, but now in the 2016, this latest era, yeah. I've not faced it personally, but I've witnessed it, yeah. I mean, for example, I was watching a program and then a person was doing a little survey question, what comes into your mind when you hear the word Muslim? And people would say, oh, terrorist, like just generally, without even thinking, they'd say, terrorist? You know what I mean? Like, they would say, suicide, So just little things like that, crazy.
I think I probably experienced racism, not really Islamophobia. I wouldn't call it Islamophobia. Probably at school, little boys calling you the P word because I'm Asian. We won't say it if it's going on social media, but yeah, just that really.
Yes and no. I mean, I'm a Leicester City fan. I love football. I love fish and chips. I like going to cinema. I like going to restaurants. I like going to town. I like mixing with different people. I like to see life experience. I like to be involved in things. But other people don't like to be involved in things because they don't like the way you look or they don't like what religion you follow. Yes and no. I feel like I'm part of a society and sometimes I don't. It depends where I am.
Yeah, I do. Very much so.
Why?
I do. I think I've been given the opportunity to study here freely, to mix with people of different ethnicities. I went to university, I went to college, I travelled abroad and came back, and travelling abroad actually made me feel very British. So yeah, I do. I feel extremely British.
Yeah, because I'm born here as well. Nobody can take that away from me. Regardless of what I do or become, as long as I'm not a bad person, then I'm Leicester. Or one side of it.
Do you support LCFC?
Yeah, definitely. And before they won the Premiership.
Not really. I mean, being half-caste anyway, I think that had its little trials and tribulations, but I just feel like I'm just part... I think everyone's in their own lane type of thing, but I wouldn't say I'm British, I would say I'm just born in Britain. but I'm not British. Do you know what I mean?
Up until recently, I did not feel part of society at all.
Why?
Because of certain things that have happened to me and the way my life became. I think I've got a label now, and it's very difficult to take that label away.
What's that label?
I said at one stage they said I was an extremist, and although I'm not, but once you've been labelled, it's very difficult to take that label away.
Why did they say you was an extremist?
Certain things happened. I left the country. I went to Cyprus, but then certain things were wrote about me saying I tried to go Syria, which I've never done. I never wanted to go there. I had no intention, but that's just life, I guess.
I'd get everyone in a classroom and teach them about what Islam is. If I could do that, my background is in teaching, so I would teach them about moderation, about the prophetic way, which is the middle way, and to know that Islam is not politics or rules and regulations, but Islam is spirituality and connection to God, whatever you call that God. And I would just educate people.
I think in today's time, society is very unfair. A lot of these problems is because society is not equal. If everything was equal and everyone had equal opportunity, I think we'll have less problems.
If I had the power and to stop all the hatred, well, that question is hard to answer because the people, it's a tricky one because, you know, it's like when you want to say what you want to say, you can't say what you want to say because then you're labelled. But then really and truly, the people causing the problems are the people that can solve it. But these so-called extremists, they're just like, I think they're uneducated and they're just acting out of anger. So really, they don't know what they're doing. But the main people know this, so it's just a case of divide and conquer. Do you know what I mean? And if you're smart, then you'll see that. But if you're one of them, you know, radicalist Muslims, then you're not going to see that. You're going to be stupid and, you know what I mean? You're not praying all your prayers, but you want to go and do something crazy. So I can only talk on behalf of the Muslims, and because I'm a Muslim myself, but I would never do anything crazy. But the extremists, as in the other side, the politically correct side, they're just as bad, really. They're just as bad, just with money. So, you know what I mean?
I think it's better to just teach by how you act. Be a subtle voice and a subtle and do subtle actions, if you know what I mean. Not forceful or, you know, point things and say, you know, you're wrong for thinking like this. Just show an alternative like quietly. In that kind of way.
Yes. The best thing is education. Education, education, education. The only way you can defeat extremism is education and giving the youth opportunities to work and to excel in their jobs or in their field. Because when there's poverty, there's always the rise of violence and extremism and nationalism. When I remember in the 90s where people were earning money, in the late 80s, early 90s, people were earning money. No one cared about who you were and where you came from. Because when you got money, people are happy. So I think the only way you can defeat extremism is by giving these young guys or young women job opportunities in life so they can better and excel themselves. That's the only way you can beat it. That's
Brilliant.
it.